China at the line of actual control is not the first thing India needs to distress about. According to recent media reports, China is also growing its military existence in the Indian Ocean. Satellite pictures earlier this year suggest China's military base at Djibouti is being modernized. The facility is being advanced into a full-fledged naval base with a 1,120 feet pier that can dock Chinese warships. This follows China's development of an artificial island in the Maldives, an expansion with seeming strategic overtones, leading some to claim that China is intruding on India's sphere of influence. Meanwhile, the report tells us that China is on ambition to militarize Gwadar port in Baluchistan, Pakistan. Recent satellite pictures show sentry posts, anti-vehicle berms, security fences, and elevated guard strongholds inside the port, increasing speculation of the construction of a military base. Indian defense analyst also reports that China is establishing naval base in Bangladesh port at Cox's Bazar, including wharfs, barracks, ammunition depots, and a naval ship repair yard. It is the People's Liberation Army's Djibouti base that most vividly demonstrates China's Indian Ocean ambitions. With an estimated area of nearly 250,000 square feet, China's Djibouti compound is no ordinary military base. Complete with outer perimeter walls, watchtowers and underground quarters capable of hosting an estimated 10,000 troops. The facility is a veritable military garrison. China insists the project is a support facility meant mainly for anti-piracy missions in the Horn of Africa, but analysts claim the base is capable of supporting other key missions such as intelligence collection, non-combat evacuation operations, peacekeeping operations support, and counter-terrorism. Rising threat to India. When China first began deploying warships off the coast of Somalia for anti-piracy patrols a decade ago, Indian analysts believed China's maritime security interests were primarily commercial, and that the People's Liberation Army Navy were driven mainly by the need to protect Beijing's trade and energy interests. That view is fast changing. Many now see China's rapid regional expansion as part of a broader effort to embed Beijing into the geopolitics of the Indian Ocean. China's growing maritime deployments, including submarines and intelligence ships, demonstrate Beijing's growing interest in the Indian Ocean. Many say the presence of a Chinese research vessel in India's exclusive economic zone in earlier this year foreshadows greater Chinese projection of power into the Indian Ocean, feeding fears of a strategic hold. Regretfully, despite recognizing the pressing challenge, India hasn't been able to respond forcefully, even as it has sought to expand regional presence through mission-based naval patrols. The Indian Navy hasn't quite matched the People's Liberation Army operational tempo in the Indian Ocean. Critical gaps in combat capability, in particular, conventional submarines, anti-submarine helicopters, minesweepers, and constantly shrinking budgets have constrained the Indian Navy's ability to push back the powerful Chinese Navy. Sea denial won't work. According to Indian analysts, there is one way to deter China is through a sea denial complex in the Andaman Islands. The Indian Navy has been developing the Andaman and Nicobar as a strategic outpost to monitor rival naval activity in the eastern Indian Ocean, and also invested in the development of an integrated surveillance network. Strengthening anti-access capabilities in the Andamans could help protect India's tactical leverage in the regional seas. Yet, sea denial assets in India's strategic eastern islands would be of little value when most Chinese naval deployments are in areas outside Indian territorial waters. Recent trading nations respect the oceans as a shared global common with equal prospect rights for all user states. Consequently, unless a sea space is a site of overlapping claims, or a contested enclave in a geo-politically troubled spot. The second reason a sea denial strategy is unlikely to work is that India's most pressing maritime challenge, the Pakistan-China Nexus, doesn't yet involve a physical threat to Indian assets. The Chinese Navy has cleverly avoided any entanglement with Indian warships in the regional seas, while expanding its engagement with the powerful Pakistan Navy, participating in a number of bilateral and multilateral exercises off the Makran coast. Even a defensive measures in the eastern Indian Ocean would not thwart Chinese plans for deployment at Karachi or Gwadar. So, conclusion is that China is not an easy customer. Thanks for watching.